Hi everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Mimi channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful and fancy Moroccan Sablet cookies, working with white chocolate and milk chocolate. Of course, with some helpful tips and beautiful designs. We usually make these type of cookies for weddings, baby showers, and other special occasions. For the ingredients, we need the sablet dough or the cookie dough, and the recipe for the dough is linked in the description below. And for la garniture, or to decorate the cookies, we'll need melted white chocolate, melted milk chocolate, caramel, piping gel, crushed almonds, some edible gold powder, brushes, and some piping bags. I also have a variety of molds that I'm going to use for my chocolate. You can find them at Hobby Lobby. I usually get most of my accessories for baking from Hobby Lobby. As you see, I have a few different shapes of molds. I also have some cookie cutters here that I'm going to use to shape my dough. I preheat my oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius. Then I start kneading my dough. What I do here, I divide the dough into 3 portions. I take one portion that I'm going to work with right now, then keep the rest in the fridge for next use. I knead the dough using some flour always on my surface or my working space. Then I start cutting the dough using one of the cookie cutters that I have. I place the cookies on a lightly greased baking sheet, making sure that I leave some space between each cookie. And as you see in the video, I'm lifting the cookies, each cookie, with a knife, just to help me keep the cookies in its shape. And after filling out my tray, I'm going to bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes. Here I took the second portion of the dough out of the fridge. I sprinkle a little bit of all-purpose flour on my working space, and I flatten the dough. Then I use different shapes, depends on how many shapes I want to get out of my dough. Here I'm using a little hand cookie cutter, a fidget spinner. My kids love fidget spinners. So I'm using these. I'm going to have white chocolate on them. I also have a rectangle shape and a square as well. Don't forget your first baking sheet that you already have in the oven. Always check, unless you can put a timer, but that's what I usually do. I just put timer if I have a lot to do, or if I'm making a lot of cookies. So I'm gonna keep on cutting, and I'm gonna be done with this portion, then take the third one, finish it up with cutting and getting all the shapes that I want out of it. Then we will move to the next fun step. I baked all my cookies after I finished cutting them all, and I set them aside for a few minutes until they cooled down. Here I chose to use caramel as a filling for this type of cookies. I just put some in the middle of each cookie and put the second one on top of it. And I use my melted white chocolate. I put it in a piping bag. As you see in the video, I make some stripes of it. Once you put it inside your piping bag, you cut a very tiny part of the pointy part of your the piping bag, like that. You don't have too thick stripes. Then I just add a little bit of those pearls that I have, colorful pearls on the top of it, and I tap it. I tap the tray a little bit so the pearls will stick to the chocolate. And here, as you see, for the second type, I'm using melted milk chocolate. What I do here is that I melt the chocolate with a little bit of vegetable oil, so I get that shiny look of it. I put a little bit for each circle of the mold, and I tap it a little bit to get rid of any bubbles or air inside the chocolate. Make sure before using chocolate, before melting the chocolate, make sure your bowl is clean and clear of water, because any one single tiny dot of water will ruin your chocolate. Also, never use butter. Never mix butter with your chocolate. As I said earlier, you can use vegetable oil to melt your chocolate, just a little bit of vegetable oil. I would say a half tablespoon, for example, for the amount that I have. And never use butter, because butter contains milk, and any liquid other than vegetable oil or any other oil will ruin your chocolate. It won't stay liquidy, it will become like doughy kind of. The texture of it will change, and that would ruin your chocolate, and you won't be able to work with it anymore for this type of cookies. But you can make some other things with it. like truffles, for example. Now I'm switching back to white chocolate for my fidget spinners. Again, I'm just gonna halfway fill them up, halfway, then tap tap tap, and so on until I'm done with all my molds. I have here those roundish or circlish molds that I got from Hobby Lobby. They're gonna go on top of one of the cookies, and I'm gonna put them on the top of the circle cookies actually. And I have the square ones, the molds that I'm going to put on the square cookies. Anyways, I'm gonna be filling up all the rest of my molds. Then I'm gonna put them in the fridge for a few minutes until my chocolate is firm. Then I'm gonna get them out and show you what is going to be next. And for this mold, I chose to add a little bit of milk chocolate to the white chocolate to get that nice light color. So I have three colors of the chocolate. You can make it darker or lighter than that. You can always play with the two colors. I just like to see like different colors of chocolate on my trays, and I'm filling up these molds as well. And ta-da! All the chocolate are now firm, nice and shiny. As you see in the video, I'm going to get them all out of the molds and set them aside. And here are the white ones. They're also firm, the brown ones and the light brown. Now for the first type, I'm going to use a little bit of the chocolate. I put some in a piping bag, and I pipe it onto each cookie. And I take the circle ones that I got from the molds. Using the brush, I put some golden powder on top of each one of them, then stick them to each cookie as you see in the video. You gotta be very careful here, because once you use the powder, you cannot use you cannot touch the surface of it, because it will make it will ruin the surface and make like a little mark of your hand or finger. Now the second type, I'm using the white chocolate this time, because I'm using those white circles. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna cover them up a little bit with this shiny powder, the golden shiny powder, and stick them onto each cookie. and so on until I finish them on. I'm just trying to show you a few ones here, so I avoid making this video too long. Okay, you just like press a little bit on it with the brush so they stick, and I just make some drizzles with milk chocolate on top of each one. And here I'm using white chocolate again. I just put like a little dot of each corner, and I stick the shape of fidget spinners on top of each cookie. And I'm just gonna leave them plain as they are. My kids love white chocolate. For the little hands that I made, I do the same thing. I put some chocolate on top of each cookie, and this time I chose to put the golden powder only in the middle of each hand. You can make it all goldish, but I like it this way. And using another brush, trying to clean around each circle that is in the middle, just to get any excess of the golden powder. Here for the square ones, again, I'm back to white chocolate. I see that I'm working with white chocolate more than milk chocolate. But you know why? My kids love white chocolate than milk chocolate. So then I stick them, and I fill out the middle of each cookie or each chocolate with some caramel, and using a toothpick I spread it around so I won't be making any mess. And I try not to touch the edges that much, so it won't be like kind of messy and looking neat. And for the rectangular ones, I'm using those little bows for each cookie. I made earlier those little light bows with the light chocolate, and using the piping gel, I put using a brush, I put some piping gel on each cookie carefully. Then I add on top of it gently some crushed almonds. If you don't want to use crushed almonds, or if you have allergies to any nuts, you can use sprinkles, or chocolate vermicelli are good too. If you can find the white chocolate vermicelli, it would go nice with this color. Or you do the opposite, you do the bows in white and then brown chocolate vermicelli. They will look nice. If you don't want to use or sprinkles, actually you can use sprinkles as well if you don't want to use any nuts. Now for the rectangular ones, I'm using these like kind of waffles design kind of. I chose to use some gold, or to put some golden powder on top of each cookie. Et voila! The cookies are ready. This is what they look like. And they're cute, fancy, and yummy. I promise you they are yummy. Give me thumbs up if you like this video, and I hope you try this recipe. Also, don't forget to subscribe and leave me comments if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching.